The Miami Dolphins. This franchise has caused me so much pain in the past few years that I don't even think any female could heartbreak me as much as this team has. From Tua getting concussed to Tyreek Hill straight up quitting on the team and to our lack of playoff appearances, this team is something else. We have had some of the absolute best players on our team in the past few years, and we still cannot make the playoffs or win a playoff game. We have not been to a Super Bowl in damn near 40 years, counting this season. It'll be 40 years since our last Super Bowl appearance, and it'll be 50-something since our last Super Bowl win. Every Florida team in the past 24 years has at least won one playoff game since our last playoff win. When the Detroit Lions defeated the LA Rams in 2024, this marked the end of a 31-year playoff win drought. And guess who is directly behind that with 25 seasons counting this season since their last playoff win? Here's what the world looked like the last time the Miami Dolphins won a playoff game. George W. Bush was the president. Tua Tagovailoa wasn't even 2 years old yet. Their head coach, Mike McDaniel, was a senior in high school. The Houston Texans did not exist yet. Tom Brady was not even drafted yet. Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas was the highest grossing movie that year. YouTube did not exist. Marshall Faulk was the NFL MVP in the year 2000. The highest selling game console that year was the PlayStation 2. And worst of all, I, and most of you watching, was not even born yet. We have got to be the most mediocre team this century. Head coach after head coach, quarterback after quarterback, running back after running back, wide receiver after wide receiver. The list goes on, and we still cannot win a playoff game despite having all of these amazing players in the years since. And ever since I have been alive, we have only made the playoffs 4 times, going 0-4 in those years. And the only reason why we won our division in 2008 was because Tom Brady got injured that year. And we had a chance to win it in 2023, but Tua had to sell the game by throwing a game-losing interception. 2023 was the best year we have had in, arguably, since the year 2000, or at least since we won our division in 2008. Tua led the league in passing yards that year, and Tyreek got over 1,000 yards. We were the best team in our division that year, and we didn't win it. Josh Allen and the Bills started off 6-6. The New York Jets had Aaron Rodgers, but he got injured. And the Patriots, they're just the Patriots. Now, on paper, our team that year was the best in the NFL. But we didn't win a fucking playoff game. And I wonder why. Which brings me to my next topic, the Kansas City Chiefs. We faced this team in the 2023 wildcard round, and we lost miserably. This game was the 4th coldest game in NFL history, and we had a better chance to win it, and we didn't win it. I wasn't even mad at this game when we lost, because I already knew that playoff Pat Mahomes was going to come back somehow and eventually beat us, or beat any good team in the playoffs, and make another Super Bowl. The Dolphins started off hot, with Tua throwing a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. If I only knew this would be our only score for the entire game. The Kansas City Chiefs were very mediocre this year, and nobody expected them to make a deep playoff run like they did. We had a better season and better stats that year, but still, we couldn't beat the one team that everyone struggles to beat. Being a Miami Dolphins fan has got to be at least top 25 hardest teams to be a fan of. And people are like, oh, try being a Buffalo Bills fan. Try being a New York Jets fan. No, try being a fucking Dolphins fan. It's a misery every single year. I would much rather lose 4 straight Super Bowls than never ever win a playoff game again. And you're gonna see other fans in the AFC East division like, try being a Patriots. Shut the fuck up. You Patriots fans gotta be some of the most stingiest people to ever be around. You wanna relive the Tom Brady glory days? Newsflash, he's not coming back. He's retired. He will never be like he once were. Get over it. You've won 6 Super Bowls in the past 20 years. You can go 10 years without making a playoff appearance or winning another Super Bowl. And my next topic is a topic that Miami Dolphins fans have to relive every single day. There's 2 things I'm going to talk about here. We had the chance to have 2 future Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and we passed on both of them. I'm going to start off with the first time we passed on a future Hall of Fame quarterback. Back in the year 2006, Nick Saban was the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, and at the time, quarterback Drew Brees was a part of the San Diego Chargers, and the Miami Dolphins were looking to sign him in that offseason. In the 2006 offseason, quarterback Drew Brees of the San Diego Chargers was coming off a very serious shoulder injury. But also at that same time, quarterback Dante Culpepper was coming off a very serious knee injury. But Dante Culpepper also was coming off a MVP caliber rate in the year 2004. And Nick Saban chose Dante Culpepper as their quarterback in concerns of Drew Brees' shoulder injury. The Dolphins signed Dante Culpepper, and Culpepper never lived up to the hype. His knee never fully recovered, and he put up some mediocre numbers in Miami. While Drew Brees signed with the New Orleans Saints in that offseason and became one of the most prolific quarterbacks in NFL history, leading the Saints to many NFC Championship appearances and 1 Super Bowl title victory. At that time, it seemed like the smart decision. Drew Brees' shoulder was seriously injured, and Dolphins medical assistants feared that it would never fully heal. Looking back at it now, Dolphins fans missed out on the chance to make a Super Bowl appearance and a legendary run by a legendary quarterback. This next quarterback that we almost had is one that haunts Miami Dolphins fans to this day. And that quarterback is Tom Brady. One of the most famous stories in recent memory is how Tom Brady almost became a Miami Dolphin. Back when Brady was under contract with the New England Patriots, the Dolphins were tampering with the idea of signing him to a new contract. They were also tampering with the idea of signing head coach Sean Payton to the team. All of this was happening in December of 2019 while Brady was under contract with the New England Patriots. And what's even crazier is that the Miami Dolphins also had contact with him while he was under contract in 2021 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As a fan of the Dolphins, I was hyped. Tom frickin' Brady was going to come to the Miami Dolphins. And you had Dolphins fans like, oh, Brady's too old. I don't want him on the team. Shut the fuck up. It's Tom fucking Brady. If Tom Brady can win a Super Bowl at 44 years old, then hell yeah, come to the Miami Dolphins. Could you imagine instead of signing with the Buccaneers in 2020, he signed with the Miami Dolphins? Could you imagine? Think about it. We would have had so many Dolphins bandwagons, it would be insane. And could you also imagine Robert Gronkowski coming out of retirement to play with Tom Brady in Miami? As a Miami Dolphins fan, this simple move could have helped the franchise in more ways than anybody could ever imagine. I mean, you have Tom frickin' Brady throwing to Rob Gronkowski, and from our roster that year, we finished 10-7, so it wouldn't have been a total loss for Tom Brady. And Tom Brady lives in Miami, so it's not like a total, 8-hour, 9-hour drive to get there. It's quite literally in his backyard. From the way you look at it, our roster in 2020 wasn't the best, but it also wasn't the worst. We had some above average receivers that could have got the job done. We had a okay defense, a okay O-line. We could have had Tom Brady throwing touchdowns to Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki, and Jalen Waddle. And we could have had a Super Bowl win. You cannot tell me that that would have been something you would want to see. And Tua was drafted that year, so Tua could have learned behind the greatest to ever do it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This video took a lot of time and effort to make, I had to get a lot of struggles out as a fan that I never had the chance to say. But this video is a great way to complain about all of the struggles it is to be a Dolphins fan, from lack of playoff appearances, wins, Super Bowl appearances. It's a lot to unfold. But if we do win a Super Bowl or a playoff win, you can come back to this video and you can see what a real fan looks like. I've been a fan since 2017. I've always liked the Dolphins. I liked Ryan Tannehill and Jay Ajayi. Jay Ajayi is the main reason I'm a Dolphins fan. I was a fan way before Tyreek Hill, so I don't even mention that. Yeah, if we do ever win a Super Bowl or a playoff game, come back to this video and you'll see what a real fan looks like, as I've said before, because at this point, I would much rather us win a playoff game and lose, rather than win a Super Bowl at this point, because just seeing this team not win a playoff game is so frustrating, because even like the terrible franchises like the Tennessee Titans, the Cleveland Browns, the Detroit Lions, all of them in the past 25 years have all won playoff games. And, you know, the Dolphins struggled to even win one. Yeah, this franchise is a hard one to be a fan of, but if we ever do win a playoff game or a Super Bowl, I'll be here.